Hello, this is a story about how I ended up in the first place in TrixyBlox's building event. But let's start from the beginning, shall we? TrixyBlox is a Minecraft building YouTuber who hosts events monthly on his Discord server, and on November 12th, the event I joined started. The rules are very simple. The theme I must follow is autumn. I have a time limit of 14 days to complete the entry. I can only build on a plot that is 3x3 chunks maximum, which is 48 by 48 blocks. I'd say that it's a rather classic event, but when I saw the announcement, I was still working on the 300 days creative video, which you can check out, by the way, it's amazing. So that means that I waited over a week until I actually started to build. Anyway, my idea was pretty simple. I wanted to build a very simple and little house, but that looks abandoned and that has a tree growing inside of it. So I want something just like this. But since I have 48 by 48 blocks to work with, let's upscale it a little bit. November 22nd. I'm not done editing the 300 days video yet, but I decided to start building for the competition anyway, because if I finished editing and then started working on my entry, I probably wouldn't have any time left for me to make a proper entry. So just like all of my builds, I'm starting with the shape, which remains very close to the original model since we're only upscaling it. Anyway, now I'm adding depth to the walls by simulating a cobblestone block and by adding pillars made of wood to the extremities. I also have to make it very tall to keep the proportions right. I think the point that it's tall gave me an advantage over other people since there is no height limit, and I'm using the height much more than my competitors. Moving to the side, I'm adding a window with 2 flower pots under it, and since we're building an abandoned house, I'm making those plants dry on purpose. I'm now finishing the side by making the cobblestone wall just like the front. It's now time to add a chimney on the back of the building, still making the walls the same way as before. The walls being complete, it's time to move to the roof. I decided to go for a 45-degree angle since it suits the best this type of house, and then I detailed it a bit more so that it doesn't look too flat. After that, I filled the walls under the roof, decorating the frontal wall with a window and finishing the chimney on the other side. I also decided to remake the flowers in the pots because I wasn't really convinced with the first models. And to finish this second day of work, I made the bottom of the floating island where the house is on. Now the actual building is done, and to be honest, it kinda looks like a nice place to live in. But the thing is, now we gotta make it look abandoned. Before that though, we need to make the tree that will grow inside the house, so I made sure it fits and doesn't go outside of the plot, and then I modified a bit the shape until I was happy with the result. Right now it has no leaves, but I'll fix that later, because first we must make a hole in the roof for it to fit in. Looks like your mom stepped on here. Following the advice from my friend and master wizard, I added fences near the entry. I'm now making the door open and damaged like someone tried to enter the house at some point in time. Then I broke the windows and some decorations to simulate their degradation. I'm also making the pillars damaged to make them look like they suffered from erosion. Finally, it's time to put the tree inside and add some leaves to it as well. Today is my last day of work and I have only one last thing to do: add vegetation and life to the build. I'm of course starting with the vines that are gradually making their way up on the walls. Then also made a pumpkin because why not? And once that was done, I added a cobweb and a spider I designed myself, and which I'm really proud of. To finish with the animals, I designed a crow which will eventually be guarding the place standing on the roof. last and least, I'm adding spikes to the bottom of the island to increase even further the height of my build. There it is, after nearly 10 hours of work, it's finally done. And I still technically have one more day till the timer ends, but at this point I don't have any more ideas on what to add. It's time to submit the entry, but before that I need to turn off the shaders and take some screenshots. Now that this is done, I only have to wait. And I did wait until November 30th when this happened. Okay guys, what? I was editing the video, which you probably already seen. I just got the notification I got selected in the top 3 finalists, so that's pretty pog. So yeah, I got selected in the 3 finalists, and now my odds were going to be decided by the community. Before we see the result though, enjoy the cinematic. While I was in my bed sleeping, the results were announced. I had just done it. I won my first building competition ever. I'm so grateful to be the winner of that competition, and even though it might not be the most impressive event, it was still a quite good challenge. Of course, I want to congratulate everyone, starting from the other 2 finalists, but also everyone who participated, because many builds deserve to win. And also thank you TrixyBlox's staff and all the staff team for organizing these events. December 18. Over 2 weeks later, I'm now telling you this story in a video, which has left me with a $30 prize, which I'll donate to charity, and most importantly a pro builder role on TrixyBlox's Discord server. Let's go!